What are we doing, Hector?
We are at Rabbit Hole Studios in Athens, Georgia.
Yeah, that's it.
His first act just came off. Andy Steinerman's going to go on next. Dominic Delaney after that, and then Killbillies are going to be coming out here. So yeah, really cool place.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, really cool place.
Check this place out. It's a trip. It says, hey!
Take me by the scenes, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome up to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I am Hector.
And this is a true 561 Music remote because we are even not in Palm Beach County today, aren't we?
Nah, not at all, man. We are, right now, we are in Birmingham, Alabama. Killbillies are on tour, and this is the international, no, I'm just kidding, the out-of-state portion of our tour. So where were we last night? Last night we were in Athens, Georgia.
Yeah, at the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, Rabbit Hole Studios.
Yeah. It was a cool place. It was very eclectic. It was like a commune. It was a place where you could go and you could live there, and it was like a group of artists and things, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they had some recording rooms in the back, and they had an unbelievable amount of instruments just hanging on the walls. And I don't know if you went into the back room where the recording is. It was like ridiculous pianos and guitars and basses and like just crazy, like even they had an electric upright bass back there. They had all these like crazy instruments that like
all these cool like Latin, like the little like the traces and things like that.
Yeah,
and they had these enormous kick drums that would just have been hilarious if we'd used those instead of our normal drums.
Yeah, no, it was pretty wild, man. They just had everything. But yeah, it was a really cool place. And you know, when you walked in, the sign said "Welcome to the 8th dimension."
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it kind of felt like we were in the 8th dimension, but you know,
totally. When I play in Europe, I played in a lot of places like that. It's like almost had a kind of like a squat feel, you know, but like a nice one. Yeah. And there was just a ton of art on the walls. They grew their own vegetables. I mean, it was really rad, you know. In another life, I would have lived in a place like that, I think.
Yeah, it was a cool little stage, though, man. Like, it had a nice stage set up and the trusses with the lights and everything, and a full PA and everything. So, yeah, it was cool.
Absolutely.
It was a cool spot.
And so Jesse, he kicked it off. It's a guy that we met that night.
Yeah, he's a local guy here, which incidentally has a music podcast for local music in this area or in his area. And so, I think we're going to do a little interchange sometime and interview him, and he'll interview us.
It's called the Georgia Songbirds, if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
And his band is called Yes Man, but Man it's like M.A.M.
Yeah.
And I think it stands for Yes Middle-Aged Man.
Yes, that's exactly what it stands for. It's Yes Middle-Aged Man.
Yeah. He was cool, though. It was great. It was kind of real country, like growly voice, and it was cool.
Yeah, he sounded good, man.
On the way up here, I did my first Buc-ee's trip, and what a place. I couldn't quite believe it.
For those of you that have never been to Buc-ee's, shame on you. But also, it is like the Walmart of gas stations. I mean, you pull up, or the Costco of gas stations. Like, you pull up, it is ginormous.
Yeah. And they have like every type of gas known to man. They have like 14,000 pumps. And they have, when you go inside, they've already got all the Christmas stuff up, and they're like cooking brisket. And every time someone, like, he pulls the brisket off the pan, he says something like, "Brisket in here," and all the other people go, are like, "Yeah," or something like that.
Yeah,
super weird.
Very, very culty weird.
Yeah.
But man, they have all the jerky and stuff. Like 100 different flavors and everything.
I know. My friend made us some jerky for the way up, so we didn't need anything. But on the way back, I think I'm going to fill my boots.
Grab some stuff. Yeah, it was really cool, man. It was. I mean, it's Buc-ee's, you know. I mean, you got to stop there. You can't just not stop at Buc-ee's. You know?
Well, now I know.
I'm upset that we didn't stop at the second one, but it was too close to stop again.
We just drove past a sign that said, for $100 you can drive a tank.
I mean, we're in Alabama, man. For $100 you can drive whatever you want in Alabama. And I think I was telling James that I just saw something recently about this place, and I think there's another one like it somewhere in Florida. And like, there's different packages. It starts at $99. You can drive a tank like a short distance. Then it's like a little bit more. You can drive it farther, and a little bit more. You can do some other stuff. And there's actually like the big package they have. You can actually drive it over a car and crush a car.
Oh my god!
Like I really want to do that.
Yeah, for real. I don't know if we're going to end up getting out of here without having driven a tank.
I mean, I'm thinking the next Killbillies album is going to be the three of us in a tank.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the cover art. So yeah. But anyways, we kicked off this tour. It was real fun. Last night, Andy kicked things off with the three of us.
The Florida contingent.
The Florida contingency. Andy kicked it off for us. As always, she did an amazing job. So
I didn't know how good. I mean, I've seen her before. I've listened to her records, and she came on the podcast. But last night, her voice was spectacular.
It's spectacular, dude. I love her voice. I went to the Tuesday night, original night that we do at Double Roads a couple times a month. And she was there playing, and the Little Things duo was playing that same night. And I took my wife with me, and she just has this incredible voice, man. I wish I could get out and see people more often, but she just has an incredible voice. I love listening to her.
She does. And seeing as we're on the topic of the Tuesday night things, there's a few coming up in October.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got one of them is actually happening tonight. But no, it was last week. Next week. There was one last week. There's not one happening tonight. Next week, there's a next week on Tuesday. We're doing like a jam band thing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
Mount Sinai,
and Ben Rothschild's new band,
The Hot Seat.
The Hot Seat. That's right. I remembered. Yeah. I only had found out about the name today, so I'm glad you remembered.
Yeah. And then the following Tuesday. Normally we only do it on the second and fourth Tuesdays, but there's 5 Tuesdays in this month in October, so we have to do one more at the end of the month. And that one is a Halloween show. It's a special Halloween show, and I believe we have Young Fiction.
Yeah.
And
Zach's band.
Yeah. Sandman Sleeps.
Yeah.
And who was the third band?
We were talking about the guys that we had on the pod. We haven't booked them yet. We haven't booked the third band yet.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
So there will be a third band.
Yeah. We'll get to the third band. But if you've never seen Sandman Sleeps, they're one of the best bands in the area. I mean, they really are. I'm not just saying it. They really are spectacular. They're a great band.
No, absolutely. And Young Fiction, those guys, they haven't been doing it for too long, but they kick ass, man. I love them.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even though it's Hector's Nepo baby. They are spectacular.
They are good. Yeah. My kid's not the good one, but everyone. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, anyways, last night was fun. Andy kicked it off. So what do you say we take a little quick look at one of Andy's songs from last night?
Yeah, sounds like a great idea.
All right, let's do it.
Far from you seem to feel blood, love, and fear and dirty motel sheets. I came far from, cause I'm living today instead of chasing fake reality. Now I don't give myself enough credit for hitting the bottom and grabbing hold of my life. Not enough credit, no, for licking my wounds after falling under my own knife. Not enough credit for trading white lines for white flags and waving them high. Not enough
Natalie Starring playing last night at the Rabbit Hole in Athens, Georgia, and she was great, wasn't she?
Oh man, she was amazing. I love her voice. I could listen to it all day long. Like seriously, she just has that just, I don't know, man. There's something about her voice. Like it's got a great tone to it, but it's got a little bit of rasp to it. And I don't know, man. It's
just enough
grit to really, it draws you in. You know?
Yeah, and the vibrato. That was the thing that really I was impressed with, is the control over the vibrato, because there's people who use vibrato, and then there's people who really know how to use vibrato.
Yeah. And you were talking earlier today about it takes a special kind of person to get up there and just play. Like you said, you don't have a band around you, so you're just kind of exposed and naked.
Yeah, you feel a little lonely and a little exposed up there, and every mistake is just right there for everyone to see. So it takes you have to be pretty brave to do it. I mean, you get used to it after a while, especially as you get really kind of like comfortable with your set and stuff.
Yeah,
but it's the closest thing a musician can get to being like a stand-up comic, I think.
Yeah, and I was just talking to her the other day when I was at Double Roads for her set there, and it was right before this tour, and she was talking about how she was a little bit nervous about the tour. She's fine with the singing, she's fine with the playing the music, she's fine being up there by herself. She loves doing it, and she does it really well, and she's confident about it. But she said she was telling me that night that she doesn't feel like she's great at that great at telling stories. And she wants to be able to tell stories between the songs about what the songs mean to her and stuff like that. I think she did a great job with that last night. She was on point, man. She was talking about the songs and everything. It was great.
Funny. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and the little explanations of the songs and then going to the song helped set it up. It really did.
Yeah, and she gave us a nice little treat last night. Apparently, she played a song last night that was only the second time she's played live. The first was the night before, where her and Dominic played somewhere. Yeah. So she played that for us last night, and she's put out some new, or she's about to put out some new. I don't know if it's recorded yet, but she's definitely playing it in her set. She's got a couple of new tunes and stuff, and man, it's like better than ever. Like it's really good stuff.
No, good things really to come for Andy. I mean, that she's already killing it and getting lots of listeners and stuff. And now she's on the road. It's just nice to see like it all coming together for her.
Yeah, for sure. And we had her on the podcast a while back, so it's nice to see the full circle now. We're on tour with her, and for a few dates anyways, and it's just nice to see her out there and doing her thing, and it's just getting better and better.
Totally. I think that at this point we need to discuss last night's sleeping arrangements.
Well, I suppose we could do that. I mean, we usually get an Airbnb because we're like one of those really bougie bands that everybody needs their own room. But in the spirit of rock and roll and hanging out with Andy and Dominic, we went ahead and just booked a room in the same places that they booked a room for the 2 nights.
Which was a nice hotel, to be fair. It was
fine. It was fine. But the room has 2 queen beds and no sleeper sofa.
Luckily, we had 2 queens.
So so James and I were the 2 queens. Apparently I drew the short straw. And by short straw, I mean short James. And Ben got his own bed, and James and I got to cuddle all night. So it's fine. It's fine.
And we're sharing James' duty. So tonight I get James, which is I think it's fun. It's like musical beds.
Yeah. So by the end of this tour, we can all say we slept with James. Everybody slept with James. Whatever. It's James. Everybody sleeps with James. Anyways, getting back to the show last night. After Andy was done, Dominic got up. Yeah. And just like Andy, man, he freaking brought it, man. He was on fire last night too. Like everything was good.
I like the way he started the set. He didn't say anything, and he just kind of just came straight in with the song. Like he was sort of standing at an oblique angle. He just started playing the song and slowly turned up to the mic, and it was pretty stylish. I thought.
Yeah,
it was a great way to start, and that's something he's obviously thought about. And it would have never really occurred to me that the entrance is an important thing to consider. I mean, I know with the band, but I'd never thought about that in terms of just a guy with his acoustic guitar. Cool.
And he, with his opening song, it's one of his more popular songs, and he just it's a banger. And so, you see bands that don't play like their best or their most popular songs, just yet, because they want to hold you there for a minute and you're waiting for he just came right out of the gate with a banger, and then every song after that was like a killer song.
No, totally. And so, he writes a lot about the road, being on tour, and actually being on the road on tour with him and hearing those songs. It was a nice way to hear them.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. What do you say we take a look at a clip of Dominic playing a song from last night?
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it.
Wake in the morning, think I am sick. I don't know what doctor would ever fix this. Well, I've come to terms that I might be alone. Dust off my knees and take to the road. Searching for answers from the pavement, trying to change our original statement. And if you could you go back to the start? I'm looking for her heart as I'm falling apart.
This song's called Rather Be on Tour.
Seen both sides of a wasted life. Surgically repaired my bloodshot eyes, and there were many nights when I'd miss my flights, 'cause I got lost. Don't we all get lost? I think I got lost. Didn't have a bag strapped around my back, checking my phone when I've lost track of the time. Dawn's supposed to crack. I think I got lost. Don't we all get lost? I think I got lost. I'd rather be on tour. I'd I'd rather be smoking by the back door of a venue in Boston and find a new band to get lost in. I'd rather be staying up all night, rather be breaking up a fight up this iron shore. I'd rather be on tour. Country's roads are intertwined, twisting, turning, tarmac lies that we tell ourselves just to get by. Think we got lost. Don't we all get lost? I think I got lost. Well, I'd rather be on tour. I'd rather be smoking by the back door of a venue in Boston and find a new band to get lost in. I'd rather be staying up all night, rather be breaking up a fight up this iron shore. I'd rather be on tour. Well, I've seen the coast, traveled the land we love the most, and I've seen the best. I'm heading out to the west 'cause I want more. There's so much left to be seen. My favorite city's the one I'm in. My favorite city, the night's Athens. And I'd rather be on tour. I'd rather be smoking by the back door of a venue in Boston and find a new band to get lost in. I'd rather be staying up all night, rather be breaking up a fight up this iron shore. I'd rather be on tour. I'd rather this not end. I'd rather be living the dream with my friends from the east to Seattle, winning wars and losing battles. I'd rather be sleeping in the van and improvise at the point. I want more. I'd rather be on tour. I'd rather be on tour. I'd rather be on tour.
All right, so that was Dom. And you know he was great as ever. There's I always like watching him play.
It's Dom, man. He's always good, you know. Like I never don't like watching Dominic play. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that guy. He, you know, like you were saying earlier, he just, you know, he writes a lot of songs about like being on tour and stuff, and it's because he's always going on tour. And you know, we were having breakfast at like 2 a.m. with him last night, and with him and Andy, and after the show. And, you know, he was making the comment about, like, you know, a lot of bands will say, like, oh, I wish I could go on tour. And, you know, and I guess, I'm not sure who was it that said it. He said,
Frank Turner. If you want a tour, just go book one.
If you want a tour, just go book one. And that's what he does. I mean, he books tours. He's good at it. He goes out. He's done the Amtrak tour. He's done a bunch of different tours. And, I mean, it's what he loves to do, man. So
exactly.
He's doing what he loves. You can't fault him for that.
No, that's exactly right. It's that punk ethic, that punk mentality, and
absolutely.
And it's important to know, I think, for people who've never done it. I wouldn't say it's easy in the sense that finding places can be tough and getting people to come to shows, not all the DIY and stuff, but it is far from impossible. It's just it just takes some work. Yeah. That's all. You just got to try and do it. And there's no like perfect way to do it. It's just calling venues, it's going on websites and things like that. You just got to kind of slog through it, and then by the end of it, you know, if you really put your mind to it, you'll have a tour booked. Yeah.
You know, I was stressing out before the tour. You know, 100 different things to do, getting everything set up and whatever. But it's funny, you know, as soon as I get in the car and we drive, you know, 30 feet down the road, I'm like, it all melts away, and I'm like, 2 weeks of just fun and bliss, you know?
No, totally. I always slightly overthink it, and the night before I was kind of getting everything in order to the point where I was kind of like rearranging rooms in my house, and I always get a little bit like that before I leave, and then well, yeah, I felt the exact same way. I got in the car and I was like, oh, here we go, because the thing is, at that point, there's nothing you can do. The door is closed on the sorting things out. You're just off and you're on your travels, and I've talked to you about this before, with just that there's a certain feeling of freedom about being away. It's just this. You have responsibilities, but they're quite simple ones in the sense that it's just every day you go to the gig, you set up, you play. That's really it. Yeah. And then anything else you do in the day is optional. Like, we have to do this editing. I have some other work to do for like recording some music and doing some art and things. But A, I don't really have to do it. I just probably should. Yeah. So, and B, it's always just kind of finding interesting, weird ways to do it. Like you can be sat on the motel bed. It kind of makes it fun,
Yeah. No, it's definitely really, really cool, man. Like being on tours, there's nothing like it. No. And we're not on an airplane. We're not on some big tour bus. We're not like, we're not playing arenas or whatever, but it's just so much fun. I love doing this, man.
And it's a little bit related to what Dave McWayne was saying the other day, is that, those arena tours are obviously super exhilarating, but it's a lot of pressure, and at that point you've become part of the machine. You're like, I've done bigger tours, not enormous ones, but bigger ones, and you just feel like you're a cog in the wheel of this machine that's moving along, and it's a bit of a weird feeling. This, you're really just it's like self-determination. You're just out here making it happen for yourself, It's a good feeling.
Well, as we mentioned before, we're on tour. Killbillies on tour, and ours is the Flight of the Thunder Goose tour. Don't ask me what that means; I can't possibly tell you. But it is the Flight of the Thunder Goose tour, and Andy and Dominic are on their Intentions tour, and it just happened to be that we were going to be very close to each other at the same time, so it meshed well, and we played last night, and we're going to play with them again tonight, and kind of cross over our tours. Yeah. So of course. The night wasn't complete last night without Killbillies playing.
Absolutely. And before we get into that, I just do want to quickly say that the way I interpret the Flight of the Thunder Goose tour is, so our rock names are, James's rock name is James Rattling Balls Gelly on it. My rock name is Ben Babyface Charles. But Hector, who has by far the most superior rock name, it's called Hector Thundergoose Diaz. Now, the tour was all arranged around the concept that Hector has a chalk festival that he's going to go and do an art piece at. Yep. And he knows these guys really well in Marietta and Georgia, in Atlanta. And they're almost family to him at this point. He's played it a million times. Yeah. And so we're playing that festival, and he's going to do his art piece, which we're actually going to help him with, which I'm so excited.
I'm stoked about it because I get helpers.
Yeah. So it's like, because it was all planned around your thing, it's kind of like your tour in a way. So it's the Flight of the Thunder Goose tour.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's my tour.
Yeah. And we were kind of jokingly, but I think we might end up doing it next year. We'll name one of the tours after James's rock name and the other one after mine. I don't know. We'll definitely do that. We'll see, because the Rattling Balls tour is a bit of a weird name for a tour, but we could do it.
I feel like we definitely, we had. I joined the band in June of 2020, and it wasn't until summer of last year. So we were in the band. I was in the band 2 years before we ever did any kind of tour. Yeah, and I feel like we got the bug now, because now here we are a year later. We're doing another tour. We've already got another one planned for June, and that's a little bit longer. We've got another one that we're planning for the UK in October next year.
Here's the thing, dude. Once you get out here and you're doing it, you realize that in order to capitalize on doing it, you got to do it again.
You got to do it.
And the other thing about it is, once you've been out on the road a little bit, you're like, oh man, like if we don't do it again, then that's as far as we got. Yeah. You got to keep doing it. It's exponential, really.
And again, it's so much fun. Why wouldn't we keep doing it?
Exactly.
If we can do it, if we can financially do it, if we can, mentally do it for not being at home and stuff like that, then why not?
Yeah, exactly. And that's here's the thing. Years ago, I did it very, very intensely. I was away all the time. It wasn't great for my relationship with my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, but it wasn't great. And but that was because it was just so often, But if you're only doing it, twice, 3 times a year, and
Yeah.
for not that long. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been cool, man.
Yeah.
So so Killbillies got to close out the night last night,
Yeah.
and like I said, it was a pretty cool room. It was a pretty cool stage and everything. The setup was kind of cool. So we just went in there. We did our thing, and this was a little bit different for us, as a lot of you guys know. Around town, around home, we play a lot of the 3-hour gigs, 4-hour gigs, and yes, we throw in as many originals rather as we can, but we play covers as well, and we do that because it's what pays us money around town, and it's how we pay our bills.
Yeah.
But the fun thing about these tours is, we do a couple of those here and there to help finance the tour, if you will. But a lot of the dates that we're playing are just get in and play 30 to 45 minutes of just original music.
Yeah.
I love that.
And we have plenty, we have like about an hour of original music, maybe an hour and a half. And split the difference, about an hour and 15 minutes of original music. And we're currently writing more.
14 minutes and 36 seconds.
This is something that we haven't talked about yet on here as well, is when we get to Knoxville, we're doing a radio thing, and then we got a couple of days off. So what we're going to do is we're going to use those days to write the next album.
Yeah.
Which that might even end up being called Flight of the Thunder Goose, just because I'm so in love with this Thunder Goose word. Just like,
if it's written on this tour, it has to have the name, right?
yeah, exactly. So especially if we do end up writing the album on the tour.
Well, and we have a bunch of, we have a couple of songs we've already written. We have a few that are kind of in the pipeline that are kind of half written or 3/4 written or whatever. So, and then there's some ideas that we're all tossing around and stuff. It's not ridiculous to think that we're going to have like 2.5 days off.
Yeah.
It's not ridiculous to think that we're going to sit down and just finish writing this album.
No, not at all. If we put our minds to it, it'd be easy to sort of go and have a long breakfast and then ride bikes around town and be like, oh, it's 6 p.m. We didn't do anything. But if we actually do sit down and work, we'll get a bunch done,
Oh man, now I want to ride bikes and eat breakfast. Well, why don't we take a look? Why don't we cut and take a look at us playing a song last night?
Hell yeah!
Yeah, let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Water on the street, the cops are out of sight, waiting for the drums to continue through the night. There's something going on, the tension in the air. Sneak into the club, ring around and start to stare. see it in your eyes. You say it in the silent tone, say it in the silent tone of the language that's your own. And I'm so glad you're safe from harm. I'm so glad back in our run. So glad you're back with us again. Because the hardest part is getting here. The hardest part is getting here. The hardest part is getting here. Now you're here. Oh, now you're here. I can see it in your eyes. Oh, just like you can see it in my smile. We say it in this silent tone, say it in this silent tone in a language that's our own.
This week's episode is sponsored by Gual Music. Gual Music is a music production company led by Guy Gualtieri, or Gual, which is for labels and independent artists in need of fast turnarounds and affordability in the South Florida area. The company maintains high-end gear, industry standard software, and uses the latest recording and editing techniques to produce commercially competitive music for their clients. Gual Music makes music production easy by bringing the studio to you.
We are also sponsored by Oasis Root. Now, Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Sea Grape Square on Indiantown Rd, and it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, you know, that brings people together. You all take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It's has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, you know, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing, and some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby-foot as they call it in France. And yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very, very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root Kava Bar. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue, and we can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. But outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. It's north of the gas station, right before you get to North Lake on Military Trail. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. Thanks.
All right, so that was us, and yeah, we had a good time playing that night. I think we played pretty well. I forgot the verse of a song, which was embarrassing, but
I mean,
it wouldn't be the first time.
yeah, I think it would have been cooler if, like, instead of cutting to the video of us, we somehow could have projected it like behind us, and you could have watched us watching us. I don't know.
And then if we watched it, we would be watching us
watching us. So, anyways, going down that rabbit hole. See what I did there?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, cool. So, yeah, coming up, we've got, so tonight it's a place called The Nick, and according to Dominic, it's a great venue.
Yeah, it's a bona fide music venue, full PA, sound person. Tickets were being sold. There's a few other bands on the bill, as well as Dominic and Andy and us.
Yeah.
So it's our second and sadly last night with Dominic and Andy. We're all going to part ways, and then they're going to finish out the last few nights of their tour, and we're going to continue back onto Marietta. But The Nick tonight in Birmingham, Alabama. Tomorrow night we're playing in Marietta, Georgia. We're playing at the Third Door, which we've played before. We played it on our last tour, and that was a fun place.
Yeah.
And then Saturday and Sunday we're chalking and doing the Chalk Festival, but we're actually playing the main stage at Chalktoberfest, which if anybody doesn't know, Chalktoberfest is a chalk festival, art festival on the street. About 60, 70 artists are on in it, and then they tie it in, or they wrap it in with a microbrew beer festival, and they sell tickets for that. And I think for Saturday they sell tickets, or you can do like taste testing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they get a lot of people, man. They get upwards of, like, over the course of the whole weekend, they get upwards of like 80 to 100,000 people walking through the square.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So theoretically, we play the main stage midday on Saturday. I mean, it can be a good crowd there for us.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's really cool, and I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah. It's nice to do something in front of a lot of people. Yeah. You know, we play a lot of gigs, and some of them are small, and like occasionally they have nice big ones. And this one is great.
Yeah, this will be fun. And then, of course, Sunday we're still chalking and stuff. Monday's our travel day. We're heading up to Knoxville.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of put roots down in Knoxville for a few days there. I think 3 or 4 days, actually. Going to get an Airbnb there. And then Tuesday, we're doing a radio interview on WDVX.
That's right.
Look it up online. I think they stream the radio station, so you'll be able to watch it. We're doing a radio interview, and we're bringing our instruments. We're going to do a little live acoustic session in the studio. So that'll be fun, man. That'll be neat. That'll be really neat.
Nice being on the other side of the table.
Yeah, absolutely. Literally. Yeah. And then Wednesday is a down day for us, so we're going to use for writing music and or eating breakfast and riding bikes. And then Thursday we're playing in Asheville, North Carolina, and we're playing at a place called the Burger Bar.
Yeah.
What I love about this place is their tagline is the Burger Bar. We don't serve burgers. It's literally just a bar. And ironically, when I reached out to a bunch of different venues in different areas trying to map our route for us. And ironically, when I reached out to the Burger Bar, the girl that owns the Burger Bar now used to be a bartender down at Respectables, and I think Propaganda for a little while. So that was like 10 years ago or something like that. But it was kind of interesting. She says, "Oh, I know West Palm Beach." And then I gave her my name, and she said, "I think I know you." And then she hooked up with me on Facebook, and she's like, "I do know you."
Yeah.
So
Not about town, Mr. Hector Diaz.
I don't know if that's good or bad. The bartender remembers you.
Oh God, I know you.
I don't know if that's good or bad. But anyways, it'll be fun. She's looking forward to seeing us play, and
it looks like a cool sport. It's like super alternative and like just a bunch of rockers in there. It looks badass.
And we're playing with a local band there called Holler and Crow, which is a duo, and they're really fun too. They do like a fusion folk kind of thing. They're fun. So so we're gonna play with them, and then on Friday we're going over to a place called Fey Nectar. Sounds like a fairyland.
Yeah, reminds me of the Kilted Mermaids.
Yeah. I'm playing a place called Fey Nectar. That is in Lake Lure, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so that one's going to be another. That Burger Bar is going to be an original set. The Lake Lure is going to be, I think, 2.5 hours or 3 hours. And so we're going to
sprinkle some.
Yeah, throw some covers, but we'll try to play as many originals as possible.
Yeah. And then the Flies Tie is somewhere we've played before, and we had a really good time. We ended up playing with someone who was really good on the flute and the whistles.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
I wonder if she's gonna be there again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, she says she goes there all the time. So
yeah,
it'll be fun.
and that was a 3-hour gig. I think 3 or 4.
Yeah,
And it's good. It goes till pretty late, but it's a riot in there.
yeah,
it's busy.
It's really busy, and there's such an interesting, eclectic group of people that are there. I mean, it's Jacksonville, but it's more Atlantic Beach, so it's a very touristy area of Jacksonville, and so I feel like the last time we played there, more than not, the people that came up to talk to us were on vacation and just happened to pop in there that night. And so that's fun because you're meeting people from all over.
I had a great long conversation with a couple of girls from Poland.
It's crazy. It was crazy. It was really fun. It was a fun night. But yeah, so we're playing that on Saturday on our way home, and then we'll be home Sunday.
Yeah, man. Yeah, back to sunny Florida. You know, one of the lovely things about living in Florida is you go away on a vacation and you come back to like one of the most popular vacation places in the world.
Right. Coming back home to vacation.
Yeah.
So, guys. So, appreciate you guys hanging out with us this week. Again, it was a little bit weird this week because of the tour and everything, but I think next week we're going to do the same thing. Because, we're still on tour next week. So next week you're going to have another one of these episodes. We'll give you some more updates from the road.
And if there's other bands playing, we'll film them so you can see some of the talent that we've discovered along the way. Yeah,
I think it'll be fun. Yeah. As always, 561 Music, 561 Music Podcast, 561 Music Podcast on all the socials.
Yeah.
And 561music.com is the website.
Exactly.
Like, subscribe, listen. Thank you to everyone who listens and watches us all the time. We do this for you guys, and we couldn't do it, without you guys. So
no, exactly. What good would anything be if people weren't watching it and supporting it? We thank you very much for helping us keep this thing alive. It's very important to us. We really enjoy it. We love doing it.
And for those of you that have been to the last two 561 Music Festivals, we are diligently working on the final details of that. Getting some things lined up and getting some things squared away, but lots of 561 Music Festival announcements coming soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's very exciting. Actually.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, we will see you guys next week. Peace out.